does. Hello, hello, hello. We are here with Carla.
Hi.
Carla Grubb, how are you?
I am so good today. Thank you so much for having me, Amy. I'm excited to talk with you.
It's so great to see you. And I just want to give a heads up to our viewers that may be out there watching us, and to give them a heads up that if they have any questions throughout the time today, that they can go over to the post a comment section and type in their question to get clarification on anything that we're going to be talking about today. So keeping that in mind. So Carla, welcome. How is it back east?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's cold. I'm in Virginia. You're in Phoenix. It's probably not very cold there, is it? It's cold
Well,
here.
It's cold for me.
Is it? It's cold for you, right? No, I think it's in the 30s today, so it's pretty typical for this time of year. I'm a snow girl. I like 4 seasons. I like having snow in the wintertime, not like Vermont snow, but I would like to have something. So, but not much yet this year. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
All right. Well, good. Well, so we're here today to chat with you about your business, the weight loss release with Carla that you have, your website, in addition to a special program, a 14-day experience that you're doing for women. And I just wanted to just have you on and let's talk. Let's start out. Tell me about the reason why you chose weight release as your business name.
Yeah, so it's neat because this is an area of life where I have struggled for years, and maybe I can tell you more about my story in a little bit. But when I decided I wanted to help other women in the area of weight, one of the areas that I had explored for myself was neuro-linguistic programming and the way that our mind thinks and the way that we process words. And so when I started studying that and realizing the way that our brain processes things, a lot of times the term weight loss can actually undermine us because our brain, when we hear losing something, it can be actually a negative thing. And so if you lose it, you want to find it again, right? If you lose your keys, you want to find them. So we don't want to find our weight again. We don't want to lose it because then it needs to be found. We just want to let it go forever. So that's more of the idea behind releasing the weight. It's just this idea of letting it go. And then the beauty is there's a double meaning in there, because what I really help women with is the emotional and mental and spiritual side of things too. It's not just what you're eating and whether you're working out enough, but that whole person. And so a lot of times as women, there is some emotional weight that we need to be letting go of as well as physical weight. And so I help women release that too. So that's why I called it weight release.
That's fantastic. So this journey of yours, when did it start? When did you start paying more attention?
Well, let's see. I was born a long time ago. No, I'm just kidding. My journey started on a cold, stormy night. So I would say it really, I mean, my weight journey really started when I was young. I gained weight as an adolescent. And of course, you know, hindsight is 2020. Ooh, that has a double meaning now too. But for all of us, right? But looking back, I can see what happened. Of course, when I was in the middle of it, I didn't know. All I knew is that as I was entering my teenage years, I felt fat, and I started becoming aware of the fact that I wasn't comfortable in my body. I didn't feel the same as other girls and other kids my age. Looking back, I realized what happened is my family moved when I was, I don't know, maybe 11-ish. And where I lived, I started feeling very uncomfortable socially because I had had a lot of friends, and then I had a hard time making friends. I got really lonely. I had to change schools several times, and I just started feeling not comfortable with myself. And where I went to feel better was food, and food became my friend. And so I would eat junk food. And at the same time, I had more freedom in my life because I had a bicycle, and this was the 80s. So kids could actually, you know, ride up the street to the store. Remember those days? And, we had a lot of freedom. And so I would cobble up change and go and buy myself Cheetos and cookie dough and, just make myself feel better with food. So I was putting weight on rapidly. Anyway, this is the long version. The short version is all through adolescence, I had a weight problem. And by the time I was in high school, I was about 230 pounds and felt very much not normal and not okay about myself. I didn't date at all in high school. I didn't go to prom, and it wasn't necessarily because I was fat, but it was because of how I felt about myself being fat. And yet I was trying all these different things, right? It was the 80s. It was jazzercise and dieting and, I won't name names, but all kinds of different programs out there that were well known. And it wasn't until I was about halfway through college that I decided to go on a super, super strict diet. And at that point I went, at this point it was the 90s. So it was very low calorie, very low fat, high carb diet, very restrictive. And so I ended up losing 80 pounds when I was in college doing that, which was amazing. And it was a huge transformation for me. And I'm grateful I did it. But losing the weight in that way ended up over time making it more difficult for me down the road. Because when you do that kind of weight loss with severe restriction like that, it ends up then affecting your metabolism. So anyway, I was thin for 8 years, and I did that through constant dieting all the time. I was always on a diet, always watching my weight. And then on the inside, even though I was thin on the outside, on the inside, I still frequently didn't feel good enough. I still felt like I'm not pretty enough. I'm not attractive enough. It was like all that stuff from my teenage years was still there, just in a different form inside. So anyway, I met the man of my dreams, got married. We went through high stress situation, and I started eating my way through that, and the weight started coming back on, and then I got pregnant and had babies. And by the time I had gotten through my first pregnancy, I was right back where I had started in high school, back at 230 pounds. And so that was 17 years ago. That baby is now a high school senior. And ever since then, I spent the next 13 years, dieting and trying to lose weight and very unsuccessfully, Amy. I mean, I did everything. At one point I sat down and counted it all up. I had done over 40 diet programs in however many years of my life. Like, I was consider myself an expert dieter, professional dieter. That's what I called myself. Yeah. It was something. So when women, so I really have a heart for this. When women are like, oh, I've done this or I'm doing that, but it's not working. I'm like, I feel you, sister. I do. It wasn't until in 2016, I started really, instead of just, okay, what's my new diet going to be? I started really going deeper and saying, what's happening here? Clearly what I'm doing isn't working. And I started addressing some of my deeper emotional things. And then I realized, in order to have success, you can't just look at the physical piece. You have to look at the whole thing. And on the same time, you can't just look at the emotional side. Because then I thought, well, once I deal with my emotional stuff, the weight will just magically fall off. And that actually didn't happen either. And I realized that no. In order to really see change, you have to be willing to be peaceful with yourself and do everything, the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual. So here I am. And now I've gone from a size 22 to a size 16, and it's a gentle, gradual process. I've had a huge shift in how I feel about myself, how I feel about my body, how I feel about life, how I approach things. And I just love helping other women make that mental shift too. So that's what I'm doing. That was the long version. That was the short version, I promise.
Well, I love it though. I love it. And that you've been on this journey and you're able to share your experiences, especially with diet programs that are out there, and you can share your experiences. So as far as like when your clients come to you, maybe they have worked on the same kind of diet program and you can say, okay, well, what are you
Yeah.
experiencing with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I think the way that I talk to women is I say, listen, I help women who cannot stand one more diet to be able to really shift your behavior and your mindset so that you can love yourself and you can enjoy this weight release journey. Because some of us get to the point where we just feel like, you know what, another diet is just not going to help me. Like I've done that. I've tried that. It's not what I need anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And every January, how many people, those of you who are on, can you put in the comments, how many of you set for your New Year's resolution that you're going to lose weight this year? So
that was always me.
Give us a comment, right?
Right.
Drop a comment into the comment section and let us know that that's you as well, so that you can know that you're not the only one. That's a big chunk of it. And the thing about your program is that you do group coaching and private coaching, correct?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. So I do. We have a membership called the Weight Release Circle. And in that, I do group coaching. And so every month we have a different focus. Although right now, our whole group in February, we're going to start going through a new curriculum together that I've put together. So we're going to be starting from the beginning and walking through. I have a success path that walks women from kind of diet slavery into food freedom. And so we're going to be walking through that together in the group. But then I also offer personal coaching where I walk women through that process one by one. And the beautiful thing about part of what I offer is that I am a practitioner in eutaptics, which is a tapping technique. And it really helps shift the mind and uses neuroplasticity to change how you're holding things inside of you. So it's not just a matter of, oh, let's just, think better thoughts, or, well, when you want that cookie, think about, how much maybe you want a piece of lettuce instead. But we're going a lot deeper than that into how are you really holding things and how can we shift and change and reframe those things inside.
That's fantastic. Now, one thing that I know that you have coming up on January 10th, right? 10th, yeah. Mm-hmm. to look at that date and see when it is for sure.
It's in 2 days. Yeah, Sunday night.
Yes. You have a Renew, Refresh, Revive experience that you are hosting. Talk to me a little bit about what that experience is.
So I'm really excited to offer this. This grew out of my thought of what do we really need at New Year's? Because like you said, so often it's the new year, I want to lose weight. And I know for myself, all those years, up until 2019 is when it really changed for me. But every other year at New Year's, I thought this is going to be the year, and then what I would do is I would look for something to start in January. And usually that something was something very restrictive. Like, I'm going to completely cut this out. I'm going to completely cut that out. Or I'm going to put myself on a program of some kind. And it was kind of a jolting experience in January, like to go from all this indulgence through the holidays and then try to completely shift into now I'm just going to be a different person and act a different way and eat all different things. It's very difficult on the psyche, on the body. So I thought what I would love to actually offer in January is a more gentle, loving experience for women, because I think after 2020, especially, a lot of us just feel tired. Like we're just kind of, it's just been a lot. And I feel like, let's acknowledge that and give ourselves some space to be able to gently move in a direction that we want to move in. So that's how this thing started. And so what we're doing is we're spending 14 days together in a Facebook group where women can come in and get fed spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. And I'm excited that you're going to be one of our guests presenters. Yeah, I'm so happy. I can't wait to do yoga with you next week. I'm looking for, my body is like, give me some of that good stuff. That's what I want. And that's what this experience is about, is there's going to be gentle movement. We don't have any hard cardio in our 14-day thing. There's a place for that, and I believe in it, but not during this event. We have women coming in to talk about mindset, women coming in to talk about intuitive eating. I have a colleague that I love who taught me how to love healthy, life-giving foods. And she's going to be helping us with like some ideas of smoothie recipes and ways that we can give our body what it wants in a way that's not a restrictive diet. So I'm really excited about it. We're starting Sunday night and it's going to go for 2 weeks, but we have 18 women guest presenters, which is amazing. 18 women in 14 days. So of course, we're going to record everything and have it available for about a month for the people that sign up and are part of the group. It's only $10. So if you're watching, we'll put the link down below. You can come and join us.
Yeah. So is it January 10th through the
24th?
24th. Okay. So
yeah, exactly. So wait, so yeah, the 10th through the 24th.
Okay. So I'm going to add that back on here. There we go.
Oh, look at you with your skills. Nice.
Want to make sure I give the correct dates. So yeah. So
yeah, that's correct.
So yeah, I'm actually on Monday, the 11th, I'm doing a restorative yoga practice for your group. So that will be lots of fun.
I cannot wait. You're going to start us off in a wonderful way.
And we'll get nice and grounded for the whole experience. And so that's a beautiful thing. So as far as anything, 18 different presenters, that's quite a lineup for you too, and for all of your participants to be able to have a different voice from each of the presenters. So that's fun.
It is, and we don't even have that many things that are similar, which is really neat. We have some neuroplasticity practitioners that are coming in that may do some similar techniques, but they're all doing a different angle. So for example, I do this amazing, beautiful thing where I can help someone let go of a specific food that they feel like controls them or they have some kind of strong craving for. And we can do this technique and help you let go of that in about 45 minutes. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it takes longer, but doing it in a group. I have it planned for about an hour. And so I'll be doing that toward the end of the 2 weeks. But I have a colleague that does a similar process, but she's going to do it from the area of making peace with yourself in the mirror. So, you know, so many women, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we don't like what we see or we criticize ourselves. And so she's going to help us to let go of some of that and to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and start to be like, yeah, I kind of like what I see there, even if it isn't exactly what you want it to be.
Right, right. Well, good. That's fantastic. All right, so we've got the website link up. So even just that front part of the website will take you, you can find that easily on your website. And for those that are here right now, if you happen to have any questions that you want to ask specifically of our guest here today, Carla Grubb, and she can answer any other specific questions that you might be having. Lots of great information on your website too. So I've enjoyed
Amy
at what you have going on. For those who happen to be taking a look later on, just hit #replay so that way we can jump in and answer any of your questions later and be able to make sure that you have the appropriate information. So I will make sure that I get the correct link into the comments area so that people can also have that available later on so they can get that. So I don't know, is there anything else, Carla, that you want to share before the about the event or anything else?
Well, I was just thinking, not the event necessarily, but I was thinking if anybody has watched this far, then you might be a woman that deals with this, right? That you can relate to my story of struggling in this area of your life. And I think what I want to encourage you with, if you're watching this and you feel like, yeah, I can relate to some of the things that you shared, is that really, truly, deeply, I feel like the message that I want to share other people is that you really are so much more special than you think you are. And, we all have an amazing beauty deep inside of us. And I think the world chips away at us and tells us that we're not, for whatever reason, and whatever experiences you've had or things you've read or things you've seen that make you feel unworthy or not good enough. And that's really what this journey is about for you. It's not about losing a certain number of pounds. Like in my group, we celebrate what we call big little wins. We don't just celebrate, oh, I lost 5 pounds or I lost 8 pounds. I mean, that happens and we celebrate that too. But I get almost even more excited when some of my clients go from, I didn't think I could do this, to, oh my goodness, look at me. I've been implementing these health things and I'm amazing even myself. I have a client right now who just posted this week. She said, when I started working with Carla, I was very resistant to any kind of exercise, which was also me, by the way, until I had an epiphany in a yoga class. Amy, you are doing good work. Let me tell you, it wasn't your class. I would have loved that. I didn't know you then. But I think one of the great things about yoga is it puts you more in touch with your body, which really helped me because I spent so many years trying to separate myself from my body because I didn't like my body. But anyway, this client was saying, she went from feeling a lot of resistance toward any kind of exercise to now she's trying different things because we call it joyful movement. And she's like, okay, so what would make me feel good? So now she's trying out water aerobics classes and she's trying out dance classes, and she doesn't feel this, I should be exercising, or this, I need to go to the gym, right? She's just trying it and she's having fun with it. And like, that brings my heart so much joy. So I think that's what I just want to express to women is this journey. It is a journey. It's not okay, do my 12-week program and lose 20 pounds. And now all of a sudden everything in your life is magically going to be fixed. That's not what we're about. It really is about learning to love and appreciate who you are while you're still on the journey, not just when you're done. So, okay, my sermon's over. That's what I wanted to share.
I love it. I love it. And I think that a lot of people, women can relate to that, and some men as well, but mainly women. And that's always an important feature to understand, the mind-body connection and how our thoughts can really shift how we look and appreciate our physical self. And I think that that's amazing. So, well, great.
Well,
Thank
Carla, you for having me.
Absolutely. And I look forward to participating, being one of your presenters for your group. And so that's going to be Monday night. How exciting.
No, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm already ready. My yoga mat's out in the other room. I'm ready to go.
Rip raring to go. That's good. That's good.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out to talk with us, and look forward to seeing how the group it goes forward. So that's fantastic.
Thank you so much, Amy. And thanks, and hi to all your viewers and whoever watches this. Happy to meet you. Please do put a comment or a question. I'll be happy. I'll pop back in and see what you guys have to say and definitely interact some.
Fantastic. Well, be well, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.